And we are live. Well, I hope that I am live. Right, okay, so I'll get to this in a moment. I'll just let a few people come in because this should be quite good. So what we're doing here is, well, what I've been doing more recently is poking the bear. And obviously, in poking the bear, you hope to get a response because quite often we don't get these Globers responding anymore, and we've lost that sort of interaction between them. They've stayed away, but fortunately, some Wally has put a video out this morning. I can't wait to show you this, guys. It's hilarious. Okay, so we've got Ian in. Nice to see you in. Cleary, nice to see you in. Del West Watson, good afternoon to you too. Okay, right, so I woke up this morning, no more than an hour and a half ago. I had a bit of a lazy morning this morning, and Glenn, who you guys might better know as Ruhif, had messaged me, and essentially he's linked me a video from Where's Wally. Nothing in it, just from Where's Wally. There's the video link. So I duly watched the video, and my response to that is that video link a joke? It has to be, right? You already know the answer to this ... and no response. Logan's Run, nice to see you in too. So essentially, as the title of the video, or this live stream, which is Debunking a Glob Live, Wally wants a Wally Award, Dumb Glober of the Year Award, essentially. And to be fair, he's thrown his hat into the ring pretty early. I mean, what are we now? With the 31st of December, so I mean, he's left it late if he wanted an award this year, but certainly we can maybe include it for next year, because this is glorious, 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 glorious. Right, let's get to it. So he's included my name in the description. He wants someone to prove looming is real. Yes, I do. I would love somebody to prove to me that looming is real. So here we go. So apparently he's going to use Harry. That's Harry Baird. And he's going to use Harry Baird to prove to me that looming is real. No word of a lie. This is his claim, backed up by Ruhif, who got in touch with me bragging about this. So let's listen to what this guy has to say. So I'm going to play some of his video, all in fair use. So here we go.
G'day everybody, Where's Wally here? Well, today I'm going to have a new target, Ranty Flat Earth. Oh, Ranty just wanted to say thanks very much for telling Ruhif that he's the go-to guy for fixing errors, because in a meeting today at Wolfpack headquarters, he come into the meeting and he says, "Never fear, the fixer is here." Wow, man.
Wolfpack headquarters. Very, very interesting indeed. Let's continue.
And this guy's going to be insufferable now. Well, yesterday I spoke of Ruhif and his excellent video tutorial on how to analyze receipt.
Yeah, we already know this. We already know this. He debunked a very old video from Taboo Conspiracy where he got something wrong in the clip. Big deal. Still harping on about it. Wow, you guys are insufferable. Let's move on.
Of course, I hope over on the original post that will re-mirror, which was called Casus Pathos, I hope he's put a message over there. I better go and have a look and see. Maybe he's already mentioned to this poster. No, he has. Control that Ranty Flat Earth is trying to do by saying that the Globies are doing damage control, and we're not really at all. And while listening to this...
yes, you are trying to do damage control, and here you are doing damage control by making a video titled with my name in it, in which you make a monumental error, not just a monumental error, but probably the biggest fuck up of all time. Continue with your lack of understanding about how the atmosphere works, but let's continue.
This hour and a half long damage control session about Globies doing damage control, I did notice that both Ranty and Sleeping Warrior both said that Ruhif did a great job, had nothing to complain about. Well, that's very good, high praise indeed.
Now, I'm not going to say that his calculations are wrong in this case.
But of course the elephant in the room, or as I like to put it, the globe sign in the room, was this
Get
is
on
so
with it.
close to not 204. No
Get on
tidal
with
bore
it. Seeing a distant building and watch. Here we go.
in peace.
For the longest time, which is seeing a distant building and watching it be loomed up over something, watching it in proportion being loomed up, not just a little portion of it or a little wave or a little bit of refraction here where it's just a bit of distortion, but I'm actually looking for a building in its entirety to be loomed up beyond the curvature of Earth, behind anything, behind a mountain, behind anything at all that they can do. There we go. That seems like a very, very logical thing to ask, seeing as we're told that this effect takes place. We would actually just like some proof of this. Apparently, we're going to see proof of it in this video. Questions that I've asked to Ruhif in my question is that if you can see, if your horizon should be here, but you see all this extended horizon and a boat, how is that possible on your globe model? So, through sickly teeth, he's going to put a video out, I hope, that's going to say that all this is being loomed up, because that has to be their only argument. It's refraction. Everything that you see beyond this rock would be being loomed up. The boat, the water, everything is being loomed up. Yeah? But then I want them to prove it. Go ahead and prove it. Because you cannot have this extra water with the boat there. You can't have it on your globe model. It's either flat water or it's being loomed up. Now go and demonstrate that. Tony.
So Harry filmed this looming and documented it quite well.
Okay, so listen to what he just said there. So Harry filmed this looming, right? That was a very bold statement. After my challenge, that he repeated my challenge, which was said on Globebusters, listen to his actual words again. Let me slow it, well, I won't slow it down, but let me play it again for you to just listen to his automatic response.
So Harry filmed this looming and documented.
Harry filmed this looming and documented it. Indeed he did. He did document it. In fact, on this entire page here, you have all the information needed about this particular observation. Harry was very good in everything that he did. Everything's here that you need.
Documented it quite well. And he has the marine traffic data GPS positions, so there is no argument about that. Here he showed that on a rare day when the atmospherics were just right, you could see a ship that was 30 miles away. Now,
perfect. He said on the very rare day that when the atmospherics were just right, you could see a very far way. I have no complaints with that particular statement, because this is the entire point of the entire statement. When you can see through clear visibility a very good distance, you will see further. And that effect will have the effect of rising up the horizon. But listen to how this guy is going to try and say that these two images of the apparent horizon are caused by looming.
Now normally you would only see around 18 to 19 miles, which is the globe horizon, given that Harry is at 250 feet elevation. So using the North Head Cliff as the second fixed position, you can easily see the change in position from a normal day to the special day. It rises up. Wow.
Special day, it rises up. Let's see.
Wow. On the 16th of September, Harry in Sydney was watching a vessel that came into view around behind North Head. This was a very interesting thing to see because the height of the apparent horizon had changed from what it normally is. Now if you have a look at the inset on the cliff, I've put in a little cut out of a view from the 7th, and it can show where the horizon normally sits. Now on the 16th, the horizon, when viewed by a P900 at full zoom, can be seen to be a whole lot higher.
Hello everyone, this is Harry in Sydney. I caught this boat at 11:13 this morning. Now you can see that usually the water on the headland is down here, but today the Pacific Ocean has decided to defy gravity.
Now the problem with Harry here isn't it's more a case of he needs a bit more understanding of how optics work, and I do appreciate the work that he does, but he hasn't grasped it yet. He just hasn't grasped it, that when you can see further on a clearer day, it will have the effect of increasing the height of the horizon. I can demonstrate that in a moment, but for this particular point, Harry thinks that for whatever reason there's something funny going on here. He just hasn't realised that the atmosphere has opened up. You can see further.
And shoot upwards. It doesn't happen every day. Most of the time, most of the year, the water, the horizon sits somewhere around about this little notch in the cliff. Can you believe that that boat is 30?
Right, so let me go and demonstrate this before we go any further with this particular video. Let me bring up just a spherical line of sight. So here we go. So let's suppose that all this is darkness, right? This is just darkness and you're in the center. So from the center, you're going to have a field of view, right? So on any particular day, it can be a certain distance. Let me show you on, let's bring this over to show you this. We have a, you can have past visibility charts in Sydney Harbour, etc. On some days you're going to get mist like this, which means you can't see very far. On other days you're going to see much clearer. So there is a visibility per day. Here's another image. As you can see, it's fading out, the distant buildings. Even though you can sort of see them, they're obscured almost to the point of being merged in with the actual sky. Now this is obviously just down to visibility on a given day. So what would that effect have on both a flat plane and a globe surface? So on any particular day, let's suppose that this is your area that you're trying to see inside. You're in the center. Let's put you in the center. Hang on, let's get the shapes up. So let's put, this is your visibility today. So here's your visibility today, and let's suppose that this visibility today is just 10 miles. Let's suppose you've only got 10 miles visibility today, right? So you can't see very far. There's a lot of stuff in the way. You can't see very far. So from your vantage point, if you were at, let's say, 10 meters elevation and you're trying to see the horizon, you should be able to see the horizon. But for whatever reason, because the visibility isn't very good, you just can't see very far today. You can't quite get there. You just don't have enough visibility to see where the edge of the horizon would be. On any model, globe model, flat model, line of sight, etc., you just don't have enough visibility to see very far. So this darker area is where your visibility ends. You cannot see beyond this visibility here, right? So what would happen then is, if this was the horizon, let's put the horizon in where the horizon should be, right? Let's put where the horizon should be. So let's suppose in the edge here is where the horizon should be, at the end of the yellow. You should be able to see the horizon, but you cannot, because the visibility only allows you to see so far. You can only see 10 miles, but the horizon should be 12 miles away. And you can't see the edge of the horizon because the visibility won't allow you to see that far. Now, what will that effect have? That effect will have a lowering of the horizon. Let's go back to his video. Which one was it? So let's go back to this image here. Where are we? So what that will do is, if you can see further, you can see, if you can only see up to this point, 10 miles away, and on a better day when you can see further, you can see 12 miles, you can see 14 miles, you can see 16 miles, 18 miles, 20 miles. It allows you to see further. The horizon will rise up. No longer will the sky become overlap the ocean, because you can see further, which allows you to see more of the ground, which allows you to see further. It's a very easy concept. You're trying to claim that this is looming.
Gravity and shoot upwards. It doesn't happen every day. Most of the time, most of the year, the water, the horizon sits somewhere around about this little notch in the cliff. Can you believe that boat is 30.13 miles out from my viewing position? You probably can't believe that, but that's what the GPS told me this.
Yeah, 30 miles away. I can believe it. It was a long way away. Even Harry in his video is shocked at the distance that he can see this boat away. He's shocked because simply the atmosphere opened up and allowed him to see further. It had nothing to do with a change in height of the ocean. The ocean was always in the same place. It's just that the atmosphere overlaps the ocean from your perspective, and it opens up with better visibility. It's as simple as that.
This morning from my viewing position. Okay, so that's what it looks like at 30 miles. 30 miles. Remember some of my other videos with 30 miles you could only just see the little elongated smokestacks and stuff like that? Pretty weird, isn't it? But that's 30 miles out, guys.
So this is Harry. He's trying to understand his observation. He's trying to understand why he can see the boat like it is. It's simply down to the fact that he has a better visibility on this particular day.
30 miles.
How much higher, I hear you ask? Well, let's go count some pixels, guys. Well, Harry identified the ship as the Delsa. It's a bulk carrier, and fair enough, that's probably what it is, and it's probably coming into Sydney to load up. We know that the Delsa from marine traffic is 200 metres long, and from a clear side-on image we can count and scale and work out mathematically that the gantries are about 19 metres above the deck.
Yeah, we all know that on the two separate images there are more pixels invisible in one and less in another, giving you a different horizon. We understand this. Now let's get to the crux of this. This is the best. This is the best, right? So this guy here is going to show this old trotted out video that I'm all sure you've seen before.
So how can this happen, I hear you ask? Well, let's have a look at Dan Joss. He is demonstrating how to use liquid nitrogen to create a hot air, cold air temperature gradient and allowing the light to bend over the curve. And that
So this guy here has put some liquid nitrogen onto basically I think it's a hot stove or something like that, or something. And so this liquid nitrogen and the temperature difference needed to create this effect, this little smudge lifting up and then dissipating again when the temperature differences change. He's going to try and say that this is what's happening in the video.
It reveals what's behind the curve. So that's a brilliant little demonstration. I'll play a bit of it for you here, just the good bits. And thanks very much, Dan Josh. This is a really good little demo. So this is a large thermal gradient, and it's over a very small distance, but it's not too dissimilar to what we're seeing here on Harry's water.
It's not too dissimilar to what we're seeing on Harry's water. You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Anyway, let's get to the punchline here. Let's get to the punchline.
We can see from the weather in Sydney, reported by the Bureau of Meteorology, that on both the 16th of September and the 24th of August, there was...
Say what? Say that again. Say that again. On the 16th... Let me just go back to just what he said there. Let's just listen to what he said. Listen to these dates that he's included.
By the Bureau of Meteorology that on both the 16th of September and the 24th of August there
16th of September and the 24th of August. Right, okay, so they're the two dates that we have. The 16th of September and the 24th of August. So is that accurate? So he's going to do this data set for two dates, 16th of August and 24th of September, something like that. So let's have a look. The problem here is that Harry has actually put the date on his video, the 7th of September. The 7th of September 2019. So in the image that he's trying to evaluate, this 7th of September observation on this video, he's now going to go and use two completely different dates to try and back up his assertion that there was a temperature gradient giving rise to this
meteorology that on both the 16th of September and the 24th of August there was a colder, moist air pushing in underneath the hot, dry air. And just like Dang Joss, the cold air at the surface and the hot air above it, that gradient was enough to bend the light around the curve.
I mean, come on, are you for real?
The Bureau of Meteorology that on both the 16th of September and the 24th of August there
16th of September and the 24th of August, and on all the data, remember I told you about the data, he even dates it 7th of September 2019. It's all there. So why is he using data from completely wrong days? Mate, I mean, seriously, you need to up your game. Not only have you just completely kicked yourself in the face by telling everybody wrong data sets from the wrong dates when it's clearly here in front of you, but obviously you just don't understand how optics work, how on certain days you can see further, etc, etc. Let's bring this over here. Obviously this is talking about visibility. This is obviously some kind of talking about how far you can see, etc. Between 2007 and 2010 alone, when the average visibility was about 7.8 miles. Yeah? But on good days and bad days, you should be able to see up to 20 miles. Some days you only see a mile away. On a clear day, visibility is about 18.6 miles or 30 kilometers. Last week, visibility in Hong Kong hit about 4.3 miles at one point. Right, so if your horizon is 10 miles away and you can only see 4.3 miles, then the apparent horizon is going to be lower in your perspective. It's just the way optics work. Clearly you don't understand this. Clearly you don't understand how to read dates. How to read dates. It's on there for everybody to see, the 7th of September 2019. And you go and report different data, mate. You need to up your game. You need to come back. Prove looming. You're going to come back to this and you're going to show us that liquid nitrogen is the same as through the atmosphere? No, because if you've got a temperature gradient of 1 degree over the entire surface of the water, let's suppose the air is just 1 degree, it's never going to freeze. It's never going to freeze. But in your flawed logic, because you're saying it's over a great distance, it will freeze. It will freeze because it's over a great distance. No, it's not cumulative. This experiment, this test that was done here has nothing to do with reality and how optics work in reality. It's completely flawed. Your logic is flawed. Everything, you can't even get the data right. I'm sorry, but, and Ruhif, for putting me in touch with this video, are you for real, mate? Like, for real? Putting me in touch with this video, and for this guy including my name in the description, and he's completely fucked everything up? Is this the best that the Globers have? Is this what we have to deal with? People that just don't understand how you can see further on certain days and what it will do to the perceived horizon. Has nobody is this the best that we have to fight against? People that can't even read dates and get the data correct? It's shocking. It really is. And I've got to waste my time doing this? I was going to make a video about it, a proper video, but I just thought I'd do this on the fly because it only took me one viewing of this to understand all the flaws in it. And look at the like to dislike ratio. It's like, how thick are the people that follow these guys? 177 likes to 3 dislikes, like they've tried to prove something? Is this the state of things right now, that these Globers don't understand how optics work? That don't understand that they've got the data wrong? Is this what it's come to? This is very, very sad for the Globers. Very sad indeed. I mean, I just can't believe that this video actually made it to press, firstly. I can't believe it made it to press. I cannot believe that Ruhif actually contacted me to tell me about this video, and I can't believe there is so many likes to dislikes and so many comments from triggered Globe Earthers that think they've actually proved something here. They've actually proved looming. They think that this is actually proving looming. These two images here, they think that these two images show proof of looming. No, it's just that you can see further on one day and not as far on another day. Exceptionally clear weather on this day allows you to see much further. It's not rocket science here. It really isn't. And most Globers, I'm telling you, if you ask them just generally, you know, why can't you see New York from, or Paris from New York? They'd say, well, atmospherics. You just can't see through the whole atmosphere the entire way. It's a very simple thing. But this is lost on idiots like this. Where's Wally? I'll tell you where Wally is, mate. Where Wally is in this video. You lived up to your name, I tell you. Where's Wally? I clap you, mate. I clap you for your utter garbage. Utter garbage. This is pathetic. This is the best you've got. Seriously? We wanted to get engaged with you guys. We wanted to have a bit of back and forth, but we first expected intellectual honesty. Secondly, we wanted you guys to actually understand what you're getting involved with and understand optics. If you're going to talk about optics, understand them. Don't put this shit out. And if you're going to come at me with data, come at me with data that actually relates to the days involved. Not the 24th. It was the 7th, you Burke. Or whatever it was. Yeah, 7th. It was the 7th. What the hell are you giving me data from the 24th for? Like, for real? Is this what we have to deal with? And these clowns all clapping each other. 177 likes to 3 dislikes. For real? Is this what is this how lame the Globers are, that they can't even comprehend this stuff? Man, oh man. Right, let's do some shout outs. Let's see who we've got in. Let's see who's in. We have, let's go up a little bit. We have Rude Earther, nice to see you in. Lies Exposed, Brian Stavely, nice to see you in. Everybody go and watch his channel if you haven't had the chance to. He does some excellent live streams. Nathan Oakley, nice to see you in, mate. Should be going live later. I might jump on and rant about this too. One07, nice to see you in. Dr. John D. The liquid nitrogen displaces normal air, so it's not just a thermal gradient. Thank you very much, Dr. John D. Perhaps you could do a video about that, explaining that. That would be pretty cool too. And to be fair, if anybody actually has the software that can actually demonstrate this kind of effect, that obviously from your perspective, being on a hill somewhere, and if you can only see 10 miles, you're going to have a field of view, which will be the white area. This is your field of view. Then you're going to start, things are going to start to fade out. You can't see any further. And if the horizon on a globe model or whatever should be 15 miles away, but you can only see 10 miles away, and then I would like somebody to sort of like show that in some kind of software, and then show what happens when the atmosphere becomes clearer and clearer, how that will affect the perceived horizon and how it will open up the horizon distance, and that will show the same effect as in this video, of things actually appearing higher in perspective mode. Let's go back over here. Due to perspective, obviously, the further you can see, the horizon will rise up. It will get higher and higher and higher, and that's why we have different horizons on different states. Nothing to do with looming, it's just to do with the visibility on any given day. So if anyone can do that, if anyone's got the software to do that, I would really appreciate you to put a little video out about that. Link me up with it, please, because I would really love to have that as a handy tool to bash these Globers over the head with, because the simple idea that they can't understand this boggles my mind. boggles my mind that just on any given day you can just see further, and they don't understand how that is going to open up the height in relation perspectively to this rock formation on the left hand side. That's all it's doing. In relation to this, it's going to open up the perceived horizon. Right, let's go back to doing a few shout outs. AJM, nice to see you in as well. Burgo, bowlers are hilarious. Exactly, indeed they are. Flat Earth Spaceman, nice to see you in. George Corson, where are you from? Randy. It's Ranty, mate, and I'm from Blackpool in the UK. Helen Truthseeker, free energy researcher, nice to see you in. Jonathan Doherty, nice to see you in. Joseph369, Ruhif. Jokey Mosili, hey there to you as well. I think I've got everybody now. Oh, I am human, nice to see you in. Stone Monkey 3D. Oh, could write software for it. Could you really? Stone Monkey 3D, if you could write software for that, I would greatly appreciate that, seriously. Paige, nice to see you in. And George Corson, nice to see you in. So I think I've shouted at everybody that's actually turned up, well, made an effort to comment in the chat. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. For me, it was. I just can't believe the stupidity of these glow heads, and the stupidity of Ruhif to actually contact me and tell me that there's a video out proving looming. It's just retarded. It's just absolutely. I just can't believe the stupidity of what I actually witnessed when I watched this video. Absolute garbage. I asked for proof of looming, not just a video that just shows better weather conditions on one day versus another, because essentially that was what the whole video was. It was just showing a clear day and a less clear day, and some Globe put a video out trying to say that this was proof of looming. I mean, I'm beyond flabbergasted at the levels that these people drop to. I put a video out recently explaining how they teach mathematics nowadays, and how they try to do multiplication, and it was shocking. It took at least 3 minutes for this teacher to go through the process of trying to multiply. I think it was 12 by 15 by, I can't remember now. The answer was 420. It was two mathematical. It was 35 times 12, I think it was 35 times 12. It was as simple as that. 30. So it was dead easy to work out. In your head, you can work it out. 35 times 10 is 350, and 2 times 35 is 70, and you add them together, you get 420. It's dead simple. It wasn't really rocket science. It wasn't even difficult at school, but in school we were taught how to actually multiply properly, that you could work things out really quickly. Nowadays, they're taught how to do this convoluted method of trying to do multiplication, and it's just dumbing down the population. And this is a perfect example, because this Where's Wally seems to be from that kind of, you know, generation, perhaps. That's all I can say, because this is what they wanted. They wanted people to become thicker. They wanted people to become slower, denser, not as quick, not able to use their own brains or thoughts or anything like that. And this is a perfect example of that, of how they've actually managed to dumb down the population. And if you look at most of the Globers, the Flat Earthers out there that are doing streams and stuff. So you've got Tony, Sleeping Warrior, you've got Nathan, myself, Bob. We're all, you know, basically in our 40s. You know, we're in our 40s, 50s. You know, it's because we were from a different generation where we were able to use our brains. We were taught in school to think for ourselves, to actually use common sense, to actually put practical things into reality. And nowadays, people are trained differently at school. They're taught differently. They're taught to rely upon technology. They're not really taught to actually. In fact, you go out and you watch people walking down the street, they're walking with their heads down, they're looking on their phones all the time. You know, they're not looking up at the sky. They don't go out. You know, they don't get a bike for Christmas or a pair of roller skates or anything like that. No kids get any of them nowadays. They get given computer games and consoles and things to sit inside the house with. They're not actually shown the reality of the world. You know, schooling, when you go into school, you know, you can't go out in adverse conditions at school time. At school time, we were thrown out in the rain. It didn't matter. You know, nowadays, they stay in when it's raining, you know, sit on the phones all day inside in school. They don't get to go out, they don't get to experience, they don't get to see what reality's like, because they're kept in this little bubble. You know, they're kept from exploring, from doing these things, from using their brains, you know, and they're just programmed. Basically, they're just turning into little computers. And whereas our generation was basically, you know, given free rein to think for yourself, to use your brain. You had to use your brain. You know, we weren't allowed to use calculators in lessons. You know, we weren't. You know, especially doing tests and stuff, we had to do it all through your head. You had to work all this stuff out through your head. At 6 years age, or was it 7? We all had to stand up and do our times table in front of the class, and there was a board behind us which had all our names on there, and we had to do our 2 times table, 3, all the way up to, I think it was our 20 times table. So we had to stand up in front of the class and repeat it, and you had to get it right. And every single day, if you got it right, on the next day you had to do your next one. I went through 1 to 20, not a problem, as did most of the class, because back then we were taught how to do things properly. You know, 1 7 is 7, 2 7s are 14, 3 7s are 21, 4 7s are 28, 5 7s are 35, etc, etc, etc. And that's what you had to do. You had to learn this stuff. You had to use your brain, not get a calculator out, you know. And this is the level of stuff that we've come to now, where you've got idiots that just don't understand how perspective works. It's just so... This is why it's so frustrating for me. And this is why, you know, in some ways I am a little bit triggered about this, because they are stupid. This is stupidity. I am watching a video of pure stupidity right now. There's nothing else for it. Pure, utter stupidity. And to even get the dates wrong, on his data set, I mean, that's even... What? How can you do that? Oh. Anyway, right, okay, a few more shout outs. Domesticated Primate, nice to see you in again. If you missed anything, go back and watch it. It's just good stuff. Right, YouTube, nice to see you in, and Oxbow Spirit, Rep Priestley, and Woke. Yeah, nice to see all you guys in, and Nick. Right, I think Arwen's starting in around about 30 minutes time, so guys, if you've not had the opportunity to go and watch him, he'll be going live, I am sure, in 26 minutes, and then I think Nathan's going live at 2 PM for the Flat Earth debate. So I'm going to round this show up now. I've been going for 37 minutes, didn't take long to debunk this clown. It wasn't worth me putting a proper presentation together and actually getting stuck into this, because it just needed to be done on the fly. It's so pathetic, ridiculous, and Ruhif back in it too. It just shows how the grasping at straws, pure and utter garbage. Right, as I say, thanks everyone for stopping by. And Dr. John D, come on, Ranty, you weren't expecting anything more. I wasn't expecting anything more, honestly. To be honest, I actually thought I was going to see proof of looming. I was like, this is proof of looming. I've got proof of looming, and Ruhif says it's proof of looming too. So yes, we're going to get proof of looming here. And yeah, absolute utter failure. Right, okay guys, thanks very much for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next one.